Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting, riveting, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, site defender of the fatherland. Off here to a glorious 1v1 on Bocage in the north. It is 3imweckla fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 7th Panzer Division with Spearhead, Osttruppen and Jäger Infantry. And we got Stranger Osttruppen with a double pioneer start. That's interesting. Featuring all Osttruppen, entrenching tools, the artillery field officer, supply drops, and railway artillery support in the south. That is jxqiyue. We'll just call them JX though. Fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Marxist Leninist ideals. Here we got motor airborne troops and Guard rifle with triple infantry. Taking on the role here of the 1st Mechanized Corps. We got a double conscript there for JX. And as always, a big howdy thanks to my patron supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacaster in the business. You too can join the ranks and pledge on Patreon to support the effort, or you can follow the example of others like Patrick, who have donated via PayPal and support the Propagandacaster that way. Links in the description there as well for that. And always, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. So double pioneers, double Osttruppen. Definitely a bit of an interesting twist in the Osttruppen opening here from 3imweckla. Triple comes there for JX. We'll have to see if it goes for, say, airborne troops, tactics, and equipment list for default. It'll be more standard Guard motor or a slightly less standard Guard rifle opening. Units heading westwards. Conscripts in the east here. No sandbags yet here from JX. 3imweckla just using points here as swiftly as possible. Conscript up in the center there. Got to see some sandbags there. Thumbs up. Almost got the western point here with engineers. Steadily moving up the Osttruppen east side, and there you go. Got the conscript quarter here by the fuel point. Not in heavy cover there. Go rushing forward. The Osttruppen charging forward, but until they get in the cover, they can't hit anything. I'm still not on the move. And they're up close to the conscript. They actually have the upper hand here as the Osttruppen there goes. More Osttruppen plus the pioneers ramming here. JX is forced to retreat here and could actually force off the eastern fuel point fairly easily here as 3imweckla brings a large amount of infantry to bear here against JX. In the centre, those against the pioneers on the west side, they're taking an open pass straight for the fuel point there. 3rd Osttruppen squad here for 3imweckla. So while he's getting the eastern fuel point, I don't think he'll be able to hold the western one unless JX effectively allows him to hold it. There you go. Got the eastern fuel point more or less secured. And we get Guard motor for JX. They have a standard there with the T-35, heavy mortars, Guard rifle infantry, vehicle crew repair training, and marked vehicle. 4th Osttruppen squad hits a pretty infantry approach here for 3imweckla versus GX. Lots of Osttruppen backed up by several pioneers. Worth noting, no machine guns. Guess it's like going to try and rely then on the supply drop to provide them with the machine guns and tanks. There you go. Western field mix east team. We got lots of barbed wire there around the sandbags now. Also being surrounded here, focused down here by JX's infantry pioneers rushing in, but I think this is not going to be engaged from the 3imweckla wins. More Osttruppen running, pioneers push back here as JX is leveraging his infantry as aggressively as possible. We got more Osttruppen running, but with that again, no real cover. Never mind being outgunned, they're going to quickly drop dead here for 3imweckla, so I think you just need to retreat from here before the risk getting wiped here by JX. I mean, even like, the amount of like stalling they could maybe do to buy time, I think is also going to be negligible compared to the risk of getting them wiped. We got early flamethrowers here for 3imweckla, tech on the way for 3imweckla and Deutschland. Seizing back the eastern fuel point here from the Germans, who of course now trying to get their hands on the western fuel point. Car points being hit here, at least 70 being hit, they're disrupted. More barbed wire here. And there you go, Osttruppen as they come to their concrete rush in and push them out. Troops setting up from the base here, pioneers need reinforcement. Tech's still not quite done. Close one here. Looks like the Osttruppen actually getting ahead of the conscript just narrowly though. Very narrowly. Could depend a bit of some RNG hits. The blind looks of the conscripts actually getting ahead of the Osttruppen. Again, very narrowly. And there you go. 3imweckla retreating. The same got the pioneers, or the Osttruppen as they come to there on the west side here. Flamethrower dance going on there between 3imweckla and JX. As JX is just trying to keep 3imweckla off the fuel point for as long as possible. And of course, 3imweckla is trying to get his hands on the fuel point as fast as possible. And there you go. Engineers are retreating. JX has had enough. Tech done. We'll have to see how quickly he pushes for something out of that. Could go for a Panzer Grenadier squad here. Then again, he may just be trying to skip it, or rolling again just rely on the supply drop, in which case just skipping it, of course, makes a ton of sense. He's pushing forward here. Flamethrowers, well, actually fairly well timed here. And there you go. Going to engage the Osttruppen, then heavy cover. Flamethrowers get a bonus against units in heavy cover, plus the AoE weapons against units bunched up in heavy cover. The flamethrowers extra good here. Note also the way he's using merge to keep the engineer squad at full strength. thumbs up there to GX. Very good play there. And he's got the conscript up the sandbags by the eastern victory point. Also good. Conscripts marching in the center point, but they're already slow on health there. If the flamethrower pioneers and the Osttruppen push back, no, he actually retreats there. Surprisingly a bit. Well, mildly surprising. And we get the artillery field officer. Now that's a rare side here. Most of our players tend not to bother with the artillery field officer, but he's actually quite good. Like, he's, you know, a fairly good assault unit just with all the MP40s and, well, not quite the Luger. But also then you add in the abilities like the diversion, artillery smoke barrage, and the inspiring aura. He's actually quite good as long as you just remember to use all these abilities. And later on, you know, heavy mortar barrage is quite handy too. So there's honestly a lot there to like about the artillery field officer, but it's just, you know, most people just never bother with him. I mean, when they go for Osttruppen, where, you know, he's pretty good to buff the Osttruppen, but other units as well. And it's also worth noting his inspiring aura also works on vehicles. So there's something there to keep in mind, but again, tends to get overlooked, unfortunately. There we go, pushing for the eastern field. There, got caught here by GX's infantry. That's going to be treated here for 3imweckla pretty schnell. Samex by the western point here. Tango with 10 command there for GX as got something hold forward. It's got the DP light machines on the way as well. Very good. Thumbs up to GX there. And got something in there, go using the diversion ability, which makes him slightly harder to hit, but of course also boosts his combat close ability. And there you go, tank for the engineers. There you go, force and the comps can merge with it, but they're also negative cover, interesting enough, so they're just going to still be murdered here with the officer. 5 kills, closing match into 1. As you can see, the officer is a fairly solid, you know, close quarters unit here. That can, you know, really deal with infantry in one-on-one engagements. So thumbs at the 3imweckla too, putting that officer to good use when so many other players I feel like just tend to neglect him. That's very nice to see there. More of them around to surround the guards. We've got the pioneers moving up. Forcing with the guards from the east here. Officer's going to have to retreat here before he gets swiped. He could call in some smoke to maybe cut out the retreat just a bit, but that's about it. Definitely starting to look like he's going to rely there on the supply drop. He's also got the command points now. Just needs a bit of manpower. Tank could be 10 command up there. Going to go for ET-70. So, and this dropped in, I think it's going to be fairly well timed for 3imweckla. But of course, also primed with a machine gun, which is going to make it harder for GX just to rush ahead. So far, 3imweckla strategy, I feel, seems overall fairly well timed and executed. A fairly aggressive strategy as well. Nope, wait, what? He's tanking now? Wow, that seems pretty bold. I mean, obviously, again, he wants to go for an aggressive rush strategy with tech. Oh, we got Telemines here as well, cheeky. But still, this feels... Oh, grenade right into bits. Right in the midst of the bunch. Very nice throw there by GX. Going to force a complete collapse in the center for 3imweckla. Bit surprised at this one. I think it would have gone for the drop before the tech, but I guess it's the other way around here for 3imweckla. He's really being aggressive. Probably wants to unlock those slap machine guns, the Osttruppen a bit faster here versus his opponent. Maybe also a Supremo call. I mean, rushing out something that could also work out fairly well for him. I think he's going to need that supply drop, and there you go, teasing us with GX. So, I mean, he could, I suppose, try and help, say, like a fast Stuk on Osttruppen here versus GX, but that's going to be a pretty tall order. Troops enforcing healing. Got the officer moving force, but he's quickly outgunned and outnumbered. Just needs to retreat here. Got the smoke called in. West side, we got the Osttruppen, or when we got S-Mites on the west side. Officer moving to clear up the country on their own. But we got more troops nearby making it. This is a pretty tall order for the officer, even up close. But there you go, the MP40s do tear through the conscripts. Here we go. Decent sending out there. Oh, we do get the supply drop now. Alright. Just feels like it is out a bit sooner here versus GX. I mean, having the machine gun would be great, but also having them pack 40 ready would be pretty great for time there. But there you go, pushing it here. Teasing are dealing with S-Mines. So has not dealt with the Telemine. It's also worth knowing, of course, GX is... I think he's been forced to go for another engineer squad because he had the other engineers equipped with flamethrowers, so he realised he needed the minesweepers, so... Bit risky there for GX, but in this case, did have resources to go for the engineers easily. But now the T-Sun is striking here, 3imweckla, and of course, he is lacking that pack 40. Does have the resource, or the weapons are dropped, grabbing the fuel, grabbing the munitions. crew in the pack. We can later on crew the MD-34, but until then, we got JX there parking more or less right next to the fuel point, making it a bit tough there for him to get back. And there you go, Guardsman hitting the S-mine field on retreat, killing Pavlov and Yuri. Says 3 vision field and filling up. He's obviously expecting some sort of kind of armor rush here from 3imweckla, seeing as the supply drop in the Osttruppen build typically tends to involve some kind of armored rush for most players. They're not all. But we shall have to see what he rushes at. Will it be an Ostman? Will it be the Panther 4? Will it be Stuke? Will he be trying to go for a tier 4 rush, which would definitely not be what I'd recommend. So there you go. S-mines on the western fuel point makes it a bit harder there, of course, for GX to rush in and harass it. A clever trick they typically have. Were there S-mines actually? Or was it just Bart Y? Thought it was S-mines for some reason, but can't seem to see them, so I guess it wasn't. Must have just been Bart Y then. Go figure. Silly me then. But still, you know, S-mines are a great way, as I could have said, you need to defend your point with. If the opponent likes to harass them a lot, laying down S-mines is a very good way to keep them from harassing that point as often. He's being suppressed here. Got the field on the move here. He's being fixed up. Machine gun has also, of course, been crewed here by 3imweckla, already getting some kills. No sign of support on my court as of yet. At this point, he could easily, I think, get away with, like, you know, a Panzer 4, Ostwind Stug. Feeling more bounding here. Ooh, that could have gone a bit ugly there for 3imweckla, but fortune was on this time around. Fortune was with him. 7 kills, close to 82 on that officer. Just been large force here, and 3imweckla's current troops by the eastern fuel point are utterly insufficient. He's calling in smoke here, though, to cut out the retreat. Very nice. 2 thumbs up there. That is a great use of it. Makes it harder for the troops to at least keep up there, leaving under the T-70, but also blinds it to what might be on the other side. So theoretically, he could have rushed in the Osttruppen to add it to, like, Panzerfaust there as a charge out of the smoke, possibly. That could have been a bit effective there for 3imweckla, but, you know, not a huge deal either. But, you know, would have been handy. Awesome here, holding up with some support from another squad there a bit further behind here, forming up some slightly overlapping fields of fire, but ultimately, with the T-70 backing up these 2 infantry squads, there's just not enough Osttruppen to do that. In the center field, and they're on Overwatch, in a sense, pioneers in the west of the country there who are placing themselves in heavy cover, right within the range of it, in fact. Still no support core, needs to mach schnell with that. There we go, I do believe that is a support core happening. Yeah. Needs though, big surge here of infantry from GX as the eastern front lines collapse there for 3imweckla. Dozens of Osttruppen left dying in the dirt. Troops reinforcing healing. T-70 striking forwards there. We got 1 kill close to veteran to 1. East side we got 2 Osttruppen. Oh, the Osttruppen, the officer, and the MD-34 here was the advancing these. Got, oh, was it artillery? Yes, artillery called in here to try and break off the assault. I know I would call it in right there, but oh well. Pushing forward to undercover that. Officer's already taking some losses. So Paul McCobb can push for that Panzerkampfwagen 4 versus JX. Guys now in the open. East side here we got the Osttruppen ground the point there. T-70 sniping away at them. Osttruppen taking loss here from the Guardsman. Quick pop a grenade here at the advancing Osttruppen. And this center here we got engaged with the MD-34 pack 40 shoots. Missed the T-70 narrowly. In the east here, Osttruppen as the Guardsman continue to clutch out. Panther 4 is not easily an option here for 3imweckla, but he's yet to press. I guess he's too preoccupied at the front line. But we do have a lot of battle events here that is going to force, you know, 3imweckla to focus. And there you go, we do get the Panther 4. Arguably, again, could have rushed out something like a Stug and Ostman here. Ostman would be great as the infantry support weapons, even a bit as the T-70. Of course, Stug would have been great for just finishing off that T-70 fast. Graham the eastern point, back at base here for GX. Not much else going on. Panther 4 on the way there for GX as well. Not for GX, for 3imweckla. Troops enforcing healing. Slowly approaching their T3 and then officer. Very good. Which also then improves the inspiring aura ability, which is really good at that stage. But so far, he hasn't really made use of it. He has not really made use of it. But because I'm using this like with a Panther 4 nearby, you again got to 83. Actually gives the Panther 4 a fairly good rate of fire boost. So even if it's got itself with some more veterans to increase its own rate of fire already, you can really get that Panther 4 to fire fast. So, little fun one there. We got the officer, the pioneers bring ahead here. Well, the officers bring up the eastern side of some other Osttruppen. Pack 40 shoots at the T-70. Panzerkampfwagen 4 has arrived here for 3imweckla. JX is yet to take up, though he's definitely going to be able to push out a T-3485 if he wants to, and he's definitely going to need one here. Officer Austin when it comes to there, we got 9 kills, and there you go, conscripts run in fear. And of course, the officer finds his Luger. Taxi out, you Scheißhunde! Ja, you shows him, Herr Oberleutnant, with your tiny little Luger. You shows him. The center of the troops holding up against Guard Squad. One team can't see the Pioneers somehow closer to burn them up. In East, Austin being bombarded here by the T-70 going to eat that's Panther 4, but it's basically with the comes from the flank here. West side seeing no action, could try and stick up some forces there. And then go mechanized armor combat for GX, but it's going to need something until then. We shall see what it goes for Austin. They're slowly bled out, but the Guards, we got 20 kills on them. The DP light machine guns reaping a grim toll amongst the Osttruppen. Sees an eastern fuel point. Oh, an eastern fuel point, eastern point there. I mean, technically there's fuel involved, but I wouldn't quite call that a fuel point. Got it from the Panther 4 there on the Guard Squad. Almost wiping the entire unit. Pioneer moving forwards. Western point sees tip, going some sandbags down as well to help defend. Very good. Telemines being laid down the same spot where the previous was dealt with. Pack 40 shoots whiffs. Engineers pushing on the west side. All 3 engineer squads, including the one the minesweepers, could move with the Panther to assist. Got troops surging in now, plus the T-70 field and those occupying these. So this is actually a great plot to get the Panther 1, but looks like he's not responding. And now JX is just pushing through the Pioneers, and the one awesome squad just were not sufficient to stop this socialist assault. Setting up decent site for the fuel point there. Could go for another Panzer IV here. I think that'd be fairly efficient to consider for 3imweckla. Fairly efficient. You could also go for the Osttruppen. You could go for Stug. Plenty of options there versus GX, honestly. But so far, 3imweckla is not exploring those options. There we go. Another Panzer IV. Just as I say, he's not exploring them. He does decide to explore. Got the Pioneers with the conscripts. Panzer IV moving in. Panzer Kampfwagen 4 shoots, and did block one of his own. They did not. Got smoke called in here to assist in the retreat. Probably also have the Panther 4 fall back in the case of the field gun, down to half health, in fact less than that. Still, nice consistent use of the officer's smoke. Particularly it's worth noting the smoke on the officer is actually free to use, which makes it even more baffling when you see a players and actually use the officer, at least to not use the ability, because, I repeat, it is free. Before there, we got lots of troops here. Guards them being suppressed. Could maybe pop in a diversion there, doesn't. Got Tilly called in there. Not the best spot there, but well, into retreating. Second Panzer IV ready here for 3imweckla. Honestly, at this point, you should also consider another Pioneer squad just to assist with repairs, because, you know, one, well, he does actually have 2 Pioneer squads, never mind. But 3 ones wouldn't help, a 3rd one wouldn't hurt. But the T-35 is almost done for GX. Both sides would also benefit from some artillery. GX could go for the heavy mortar, Katyusha, 3imweckla, Granatenwerfer, I think would be a solid option. We shall see what he decides on. Grabbing the eastern victory point here away from the Germans' trenches in the centre. West side, we got the Panther moving up. Osttruppen following up in the wake of this Panther force. Minor push there. Got it from the field gun there. T-35 remains in reserve here. GX has yet any interest in revealing it to 3imweckla, just charging into 3imweckla's guns. But, oh, there we go, goes for it, and straight into the Pack 40. Not the most auspicious start there to GX's armoured dreams. Trench that's almost knocked out already, taking intense damage. Got the Osman Guard from the machine gun in the trench to suppress them. And there you go, the trench pops. Guys, from that in the open, MD-34 firing weight. Season gets good in the T-70. Panther getting the T-35. Gonna need some pack support. They almost got the T-70. The machine is being pushed back due to the field gun barraging. Panther 4 there. 6 kills close to Veterans Z1. Austin officer moving ahead here for 3imweckla and Deutschland. Western point seized there by the Osttruppen. Very close to the ace on those gentlemen. and Tier 4. Well, I am not a big advocate for Tier 4, ever. I mean, at least going for 2 Panzer IVs before trying to go for it is the right way, I would say. At least he's got some armor to hold up with, put pressure on the opponent, and it sure doesn't become a cakewalk for the opponent either just to roll over 3imweckla while he's going for the big stuff. So, you know, thumbs up there for 3imweckla. Though in general, I still do not recommend Wehrmacht Tier 4. It's just not cost efficient. Panzer was the Guardian tank through them with some brutal ease. You'll spin me right around. Oh, God. Tiefling Fort awesome taking a hit there. Almost getting the wipe. They come from the retreat path here. Panther gets a hit in return on the conscript horde. And blows apart his own men. Do not worry, comrades. They did not believe in the revolution. I think those were Stalin's nephews. They were turning traitor. Heavy Panzer Corps there for 3imweckla. Another field gun there for JX. So there you go, moving ahead for the bigger stuff. Second field gun right there for JX. Map is sort of roughly 50-50 split, with the victory points also being roughly 50-50 split. Decently used as a bit of reconnaissance, spotting ahead there. After the 10 kills, almost ace level. Clearing up the trees and bushes, basically clearing up lines of fire here to make it easier to defend and make it harder for JX to use the terrain here against 3imweckla during an attack. East side there we got 3imweckla moving forwards. Awesome there, lose a poor soul here to the guards for the field and setting up to about the sandbags. We got the German pack firing response, not really doing much there either. In the west, awesome movement from the western victory point. T-54 joins in though. East side there, push for the eastern victory fuel pump. Possibly got the artillery field officer, could look to flank up here behind JX's eastern flank, which is overall looking fairly exposed at the moment. A lot of action in field guns against the Panther form taking that. Tifo going for the opposite here by the car punt. Country charging as well. Need to retreat the officer now before he gets swiped. We got smoke called in there. The thing in this case, the timing of the smoke was a bit incorrectly called in, or the positioning of it. Timing could also be better, but I think the position in this case was definitely not optimal. Could have cost him the officer, I think, if he was a bit unlucky there. And these T-55 charging against the Osttruppen. Panther fasting Valor's keeping on the point. These until he renders it neutral, I imagine. In the end, they are just Osttruppen after all. Western points with the conscripts. Handful shoots. Good hit on the conscripts there. Double hit on the Panther from the field guns. Panzer on the way to 3imweckla. Panther into conscripts, shoots, shatters the sandbags, and we get Dex here with some artillery. The Katyusha rocket launcher as 3imweckla commits to the Panzerwerfer. So both more or less roughly have the same ideas what they're planning in terms of artillery. It both involves large rockets in large volumes. Arsenal taking asset from the T-35. And these got the MG-54 pushing out the conscripts. Katyusha almost done, and we got the Panzerwerfer 40 out there for 3imweckla, which actually has synergies here with the artillery field officer's coordinated barrage, which can effectively allow you to fire 2 barrages out of the Panzerwerfer in the same time span. So, used correctly, the artillery officer can really allow you to hammer your opponent with a lot of rockets. There you go, Panzer moving up, firing its rockets. The full 10 rocket volley here at JX. Field guns bunched up, their controls. Oh! He got surprisingly, lightly off from that one. That was a pretty close quarters battle. Still, a lot of the rockets went wide there. That was really lucky for JX. Had that barrage been a bit closer there, that could have been quite painful there for JX, to be honest. No, Leipzig actually makes use of the officer. The officers are too far away from the front line to immediately join in. Now the GX has his BM-13 can choose rocket truck out. Now, they had numerous versions of this, including had one made based off the American Studebaker truck, which fired much, much larger rockets, but also much fewer of them. Contrast the MU-34, they're pushing it back. Got the Osttruppen to come there, go quick molds there, encasing them in fire. Panther 4 moving up, 9 kills, veteran 2-1, other one very close, veteran 2 though. And there you go, Offs on the move here, 10 kills, conscript sent packing. Got it from the Pack 40, Panther 4 joining in, shot bounces off the T-35's armor. Got it on the T-70 there. 8 kills loaded, purchasing the ace level here and there. Go Katyusha barrage unleashed on the Pack 40 position. First volley shatters a well, but no Germans. Actually hits the Pack crew just a bit, slaughtering poor Rudolph. Ooh, Osttruppen not uncover there. That is great for GX infantry, as the Osttruppen won't be able to do much damage. They can realize they've got another Panther battalion again, all the bunch of infantry. And ooh, Guard Squad almost utterly annihilated. Gain veteran 2 there with the Panzerwerfer, decreasing the reload there on it significantly. It's pretty handy there for 3imweckla. Will he make use of the officer again to push out another barrage there against JX? There's only the big question. Also, 3imweckla, well, besides the available Tillsport, could also try and use all that munition for some mines. That said, when it comes to calling in this barrage, I think you should use this as part of a bigger attack so his opponent's like more to focus on, so it's more likely to miss it, because now he's just going to move out of there, and again it's going to like deny the opponent the territory for at least a while, which obviously isn't bad, but the question is, did he really need to deny his opponent that? Ooh, close one there, Panther 4 blitzing ahead, you're going to take out the Katyusha, at least try to take it out. Vetti 2 gain, and there we go. Katyusha kaputt. Ziel zerstört. Great, and then Genießer, a bit of AoE damage there, slaughtering Dimitri and Boris. Awesome flank in the wake of the railroad to support. Jags is really in the defensive now versus 3imweckla. Really should commit to more T-35. Got the Ace Guard Squad with 34 kills. Going for the officer. No Tilly called in. Intro to the officer. Oh, he's going to get wiped there, I think, unless he gets very lucky. In this case, it did look like that lucky part because the Pioneers by the Panther 4 drew most of the fire here. Austin caught him, bounced up with the T-35, got the other Panther 4 moving in, T-Sin around here as well. Could Panther fast the T-35 quite heavily, but there you go, one squad retreats. And the other one's not within range. There you go, that's going to retreat here from 3imweckla's Osttruppen. Panther barrage called in this time, they're completely whiffing on the barrage. Not a single hit. No casualties except maybe, I don't know, a squirrel desperately hiding. Panther 4 on the move here. Nearing in on the ace level there. Let me see flops next with the heavy Panther core. Panther 1 fire from the T-70. Mostly bounces. Unsurprisingly, Fielding's recruit. JX definitely would benefit, I think, from another T-35. They could also go for an H-5 here versus 3imwekla's armor. T-35's on the hunt here, though. Shot bounces. Both Panther 4s, by the way, it's worth noting, and are eventually 2, meaning they do have a bit more armor. Pack 40 shoots target weak point. T-35 is in a lot of trouble here with GX. Shots bouncing, that's pretty lucky. Panther 4's almost getting knocked out here. No blitzkrieg. Panther 4 abandoned. Great here. He does destroy it, but still. 3imweckla looks like he might be overreaching here versus GX. Oh dear, lots of bounces there from both sides. Panther 4 being forced up, but taking a lot of damage to the rear there. Panther 5 getting too close here. Almost could have been caught by the field guns and destroyed. Oof. Still additional armor here for 3imweckla. JX could also benefit from it. There you go. Panther with a barrage. Awesome savings the Sparta. Control there. It's another near wipe. Again, a wipe just didn't quite pan. Oh, actually did get the wipe with the Austin finish off the job. Still additional armor. As for 3imweckla, it's planning Panthers, Sturmpanzers, more Panzer 4s, Stugs, Ostvins. JX at least is going for a marked vehicle, and 3imweckla is going for a supply drop. That's interesting. Like, he easily had the map had to go for anything in the heavy Panzer Corps or the spawn completely opposite the field, but instead he goes for another Pack 40. and an MG34. That's a very curious choice. Oh, we did get a Panther Barrage off here from the officer. Nice. And actually wipes out almost all of the engineer squads. Like, only more or less one survives from each except for one of the two survivors. That was pretty impressive. Like, 2 thumbs up to 3imweckla. I mean, that's also one of the reasons why you want to use the officers. Like, you know, Panzerwehrers combined with them can really unleash some serious damage. But even then, like, just the other abilities are pretty great. Panzer IV knocked all of a sudden, like, GX is in a very strong position since he's just taken out all of 3imweckla's armor. 3imweckla is not replacing his armored losses, which is baffling. And this is just going to make things open here for GX just to roll all over him. If GX, of course, has the aggressive spirit, and he's pushing up the eastern side, could also push for less than a fuel point, to be honest. Like, 3imweckla, I think, is starting to get a bit reckless, careless, I don't know. Like, he's just focusing too much in the center, and like, he's not relying on maneuver enough. And he's just lost all of his armor. Which also begs the question again, why did he go for that Pack 40 like that? I don't know. More troops taking down from the Panzerwerfer, it's stuck in another barrage. This time not as good. Still almost ace level on that Panzerwerfer. So what will 3imweckla go for next? What will JX do next? Fixing up the T-35, they're using the self-repair as well. Almost ace level on that one. Pretty good there for JX and the Red Army. Constantly playing the Pack 40. Exploring here the opening created in the center for 3imweckla. T-35 rushing in. Pack 40 is not trouble, including this ace Pack 40. This could be a huge blow there to 3imweckla. A massive blow. We are seeing the officer call in smoke here, I believe. Yes, indeed, but it's too late in the pack. That gets cleared out, and he loses the ace crew. I mean, even like he gets back the Pack 40. Just a loss of that ace crew is going to be pretty tough for 3imweckla to replace, since while he can always recruit the Pack 40 or build a new one, the bigger issue is actually replacing all that experience, but I also like the Pack 40 to be incredibly efficient versus armor. You know, good penetration, good rate of fire. Obviously being blasted there, we got artillery called in this time around. Panther barrage off here from 3imweckla. Bringing in this crew of the Pack 40. Panther barrage, heavy mortar barrage, they're just all more or less hitting nothing except maybe that T-35 a bit. They're also being mauled by the T-35, which is so close to the ace level there. T's rushing forwards, cuff point hit as well there. Just brutal punishing here of 3imweckla now. Will he try for a Panther now? Honestly, I don't think that's going to be a great idea because there's 2 T-35s backed up with 2 field guns. Like the promise is, at this stage, the Panther is just absolutely not matched for firepower. And again, versus field guns increasingly, and particularly versus increasingly veteran one, the armor doesn't really matter much either. So, like, the Panther is just not a great choice here, I feel like. Simply because, again, the issue with the Panther just remains for its cost. It doesn't like have any appreciable amount of firepower to really back up its cost and, you know, time cost. Meanwhile, his opponent has multiple tanks and multiple field guns, so while I can't rule out the Panther might pull for him for 3imweckla, I think in most cases the situation is just going to be like, you know, he gets focused down, destroyed, and he does not get to take out even a single tank because it just doesn't do enough damage. For the rolling hit, this into the Pack 40 there. I mean, right now 3imweckla is more or less like hold up in the space, and there you go, got the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pack shoots. Near ace on that T-35. Directed in the Panther by the field guns. Guardsmen with 46 kills. Definitely on the way to become heroes of the Soviet Union. Obviously they're popping hit there with the diversion, but not using inspiring oil, though I think it's a bit of a mistake. Again, would really help the Panther and the infantry to perform better. Instead, the opposite is getting mauled here by the Guardsmen. Again, in particular the Guardsmen. Correct him. Oh, he retreats them due to the Panzerwerfer barrage. Ooh. Almost got the Guard squad there, but sadly not enough. And the Panther again is just not making much of an impact so far. We got 206 versus 175. Shot fired, shot bounced. Field gun shoots bounces, second one penetrates. Another bounce there. Panther misses. Ace low on the T-35 increasing the rate of fire significantly. Shoots the Pioneers. Pulling back to bay into the field guns. I mean, overall, 3imweckla needs to start heading from the flanks. He needs to look to outmaneuver JX instead of just attacking head on, because attacking head on right now is just going to allow, you know, JX to just grind him down. Slowly and methodically. Pack shoots, keeps missing. That is pretty lucky there for JX. Need to fix up that Panther. Got the T-35 there fixed up again. And there go T rushing to listen victory point to grab, a fuel point to grab with the T-70s in combat mode. Very nice. Panther with 27 kills. Wait, is he? I think he's firing at the T-70. I think he's thinking it's an infantry, not the T-70. Instead, he does pretty much no damage. He wrecks all the barbed wire. Yikes, pack crew there cleared out. An engineer rush under JX's command. Field gun to tear into the Osttruppen officer advance here. 17 kills. I mean, the officer's been a fairly good investment. I just wish he'd used the inspiring aura ability, because he actually make pretty much use of anything else on the officer. I mean, you know, so it's not like all bad here from him. But honestly, again, inspiring aura is a great ability, in particular once it's vetting your fleet, it really becomes good. It's a bit of a shame he's not making use of that. Panther there, good to go again. T-35 there is being fixed up. We got 30 kills on, we got 119 with 175. Like, the victory points at this point are just flowing through 3imweckla's hands. And he's just bleeding out. MD-34 cleared out. Pack shoots, misses. Like, the situation just getting utterly desperate here for 3imweckla. Team Telemine goes off in the T-35. They're finding a small bit of luck here for 3imweckla, but at this point, I don't think it's going to matter. His machine's about to get destroyed here by the field gun crews. And his Panther's just, like, it's not really doing anything. He's finally moving ahead with it. But I think at this point, he's trying for a dive in there. Got directed there. Several hits, only taken down to half health. Got the T-35 with assistance from the Pack 40. The Panther itself is down a half health. We'll have to fall back already. Needs to conscript back to get wiped up the officer and the conscript. 18 kills. 20 kills. Again, the officer is just excellent here for 3imweckla. Excellent. If only he just used the abilities a bit more. Now that Panther barrage here from 3imweckla on the field guns. Pretty close call on the field guns. We got 31 kills on the Panther. 31, that's a ton. But again, like, just tactically, he's just constantly dumbing straight down in JX. There's no attempt at maneuvering. Nothing like to leverage anything. Of course, the problem is in part, you can't really leverage anything with the Panther because it just doesn't have the firepower to back it up. Which remains the Panther's, like, continuous issue. Blitzkrieg here to try and dive in. Gets past the field guns, taking so much damage in the process anyways. The T-35 Ace is just punching through holes there. Both either missing or bouncing. Guns coming up there. T-75 to the rear of the Panther. Almost got it. There we go. Field guns, there we go. Panther down. I think actually the T-70 got the kill. Oh, that didn't. Just looked like it. But all the way there though. GG, and with that, 3imweckla is pretty much toast. Like, he's bleeding out. He's lost his tanks. And he's trying to rely on the Osttruppen now as though the Panzer He's like, at this stage, they're not going to cut it. And crucially, his opponent still has an Ace T-35. Pack cleared out. Continental Force got the M35, got the officer there. Another Panther barrage here from 3imweckla. Straight in the center here. Did actually some good kills with that one. 37 now full up with another barrage, but still doesn't matter. In the end, it is GG. A loss here for 3imweckla, a victory for JX. A brutal fight here, highlighting some of the advantages of the Osttruppen, but also the weaknesses, and of course the dangers of, you know, not having enough tanks at the later game, and of course relying on tier 4. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I'll learn something from it. If you did subscribe, like, share, comment on. Of course, do consider donating or pledging on page as well. Links in the description. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for the last episode. Bye.